right, let's go ahead and get started. Thank you, everyone, for showing up for our legislative proclamation and for Arizona Women for Gun Rights Day. I'm going to start by reading the proclamation. I'll make some comments. We've got Senator Shamp and Senator Rogers as well with some comments, and we're surrounded by our beautiful people from for our legislative day. So, whereas Women for Gun Rights, Arizona is an organization dedicated to advancing firearm safety education, responsible firearm ownership, and the empowerment of women to exercise their right of self-defense with confidence, competence, and responsibility. And whereas Women for Gun Rights, Arizona promotes training, community outreach, and educational initiatives designed to ensure that women have access to knowledge and skills necessary to safely handle and responsibly own firearms. And whereas Women for Gun Rights, Arizona has experienced continued growth in membership, outreach, and advocacy throughout the state of Arizona and across the nation, reflecting a rising commitment among women to participate in education, safety training, civic engagement related to firearm ownership. And whereas Women for Gun Rights, Arizona are the fastest growing demographic of firearm ownership in the United States, especially among minority women. And whereas Arizona has a longstanding tradition of strong and capable women who have contributed to the development, safety, and prosperity of communities across the state, from the early frontier and homesteading era to the present day. And whereas the Constitution of the State of Arizona, Article 2, Section 26 affirms, quote, "The right of the individual citizen to bear arms in defense of himself or the state shall not be impaired," unquote, reflecting the state's recognition of the individual right of self-defense. And whereas organizations that promote firearm safety, responsible ownership, and educational opportunities for women contribute to public awareness and civic engagement regarding the lawful exercise of constitutional rights. And therefore we, members of the Arizona State House and Senate, join me in proclaiming March 19th, 2026 as Arizona Women for Gun Rights Day and encourage all residents of Arizona to recognize the contributions of women engaged in firearm safety education, responsible firearm ownership, and civic participation throughout the state. And with that, I want to award this to Ms. Cheryl Todd. Yay. Yes. There you go. Thank you. And what a great group. All right.
Amazing.
All right.
You might have a few more comments, and then we're going to pass it to Senator Shamp.
All right. Yeah, we're going to take an opportunity here. I want to just say I'm really proud that Arizona is one of the strongest states in the nation for protecting the right to keep and bear arms. And women legislators standing up here, we're working to keep it that way. I have 4 points I want to share with you today, 4 takeaways. First of all, Arizona's constitutional heritage. Arizona, and I'm so proud to be from Arizona, Arizona has a strong constitutional tradition of protecting firearm ownership. You can see that in the work we do. The second point is legislative defense of the Second Amendment. We here at the state legislature, there's no doubt, we play a critical role in preventing unconstitutional firearm restrictions. We legislators must remain constantly vigilant in reviewing our proposed laws for constitutional compliance. We as state lawmakers serve as a frontline defense against policies that conflict with constitutional protections. Third point is women advocacy for liberty. Female firearm owners represent one of the fastest growing groups in the firearms community. Women lawmakers like ourselves help ensure that policy discussions reflect this growing demographic. My fourth point, final point, is encouraging that civic engagement. The preservation of constitutional rights depend on active citizens' participation. So in closing, the Second Amendment, it's not a partisan issue. It's a civil liberty. I just want you to take that home that belongs to Americans. And with that, I'm going to pass off to Senator Shamp for a few words.
Thank you so much, Representative Bliss. Good morning. I'm Senator Shamp, and I very proudly represent LD 29. And I want to be very, very clear. The Second Amendment is not a suggestion. It's a promise carved in stone. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Arizona's Constitution says it even stronger, as Representative Bliss mentioned. The right of the individual citizen to bear arms in defense of himself, or in our case, herself, Shall not be impaired. So that means you, the parent, the spouse, the protector, have the absolute right to defend your family anywhere dangers show up. Because here's the truth that no one wants to say out loud. Criminals do not disarm at the door. Threats don't wait for dessert. Your children's safety does not end at the restaurant door. In Arizona, we do not apologize for freedom. We are a constitutional carry state because we trust you, responsible, law-abiding citizens, to exercise your God-given right to protect yourself and your family. We trust you, not bureaucrats, not fear-mongering, not restrictive red tape that never belonged in our laws to begin with. But those statutes were broken by design, burdening law-abiding citizens instead of upholding our constitutional rights. And that's why Senate Bill 1012 is on the table. This bill is simple, focused, and long overdue. It wipes out confusing, redundant notice traps that punish law-abiding families trying to do everything right. Let me be blunt. It does not expand where guns are allowed. It does not touch private property rights. It does not weaken the enforcement. You must have a concealed carry permit. What it does is it brings clarity, consistency, and common sense so a mom like myself or a dad can sit down for a family meal without being forced to choose between obeying the law and protecting the people that we love the most. This is about restaurants. This is not bars. This is not nightclubs. This is about families who just want to eat in peace and stay alive if that peace is shattered. A right delayed by confusion is a right denied. SB 1012 ends the denial. It honors the will of Arizona voters, and it aligns our laws with both constitutions. It declares what we already know. Freedom works. Responsibility matters, and our families come first. In Arizona, we don't chip away at rights, we defend them. We protect our families, and we make dang sure our laws reflect the exact words of our founders and our Constitution. Shall not be infringed, shall not be impaired. I will not back down on this. I will not apologize, and I will not let fundamentally flawed statutes that are totally repugnant to the Second Amendment and Arizona's own declaration that the right to bear arms in defense of self shall not be impaired, shall not stand between myself and my God-given right to protect my family. I'm now going to turn it over to Senator Rogers. Thank you.
Well, it's an honor to be here today. Senator Wendy Rogers. I represent rural Arizona from Flagstaff, and we are warrior women, but there's no greater warriors than registered nurses. I actually married into a family of all sisters-in-law who are registered nurses.
Thank you, Wendy.
My daughter-in-law is a registered nurse, so you do not trifle with registered nurses. Thank you for being here. I'm joined, of course, by Champ and Bliss, and we're here to talk about three things: school safety, firearm safety education, and protecting the rights of law-abiding Arizonans. I'm a mother of two, a grandmother of number 8 coming. Nice. And these issues affect families across our state. I represent 4 counties. They deserve clear and practical solutions. You will hear about 3 bills today. Senator Champ, of course, spoke on removing outdated laws that burden responsible gun owners. Representative Bliss focused on strengthening school safety. I will discuss Senate Bill 1424. It's about prevention. This is about education of our little ones. Most accidental shootings involving children happen where? At home. In many cases, a child finds a firearm lying around, and this is a situation we have to deal with. Firearms are one of the leading causes, again, leading causes of death for children and teens in this country. Had you ever really thought about that? And so we can't ignore that reality. And we should not pretend it will solve itself. SB 1424, my bill, takes a very straightforward approach. It requires schools to provide age-appropriate firearm safety, and awareness instruction focused on accident prevention and personal safety. This is a different approach than what you might think the three of us would present. Students are taught what to do if they encounter a firearm. They are told not to touch it. I say again, they are taught not to touch it. They are told to leave the area and to tell a trusted adult. This is a 1, 2, 3 memory item. Again, they are told not to touch it, to leave the area, and to tell a trusted adult. This is clear guidance that a child can remember and act on. And I'm proud to round up this trio of warrior women, and we stand for questions. Thank you. Any questions, or did we lay any questions to rest here?
Looks like we might have one.
Just wondering, on your bill, Senator Rogers, do you have any bipartisan support on this?
Yes, I would say the question is, do we have bipartisan support on education in schools? Absolutely. Parents want this. Schools want this. It is something that's really not new, but we're championing it, and we will continue to champion it. Thank you.
There have been a few studies that find firearm training classes to be ineffective. Is there any data that can reference that shows that it is effective?
Well, this really isn't firearms training. This is firearms, leave it alone. And so I don't have any data points specifically. We can get back to you on that. But it's common sense. When you teach children the efficacy of the fact that this is a firearm that can cause damage, harm, loss of life, and you are playing with children, clear and simple, they will understand. And they'll be taught to leave it alone.
Safe storage laws haven't passed. Do you think that this is more effective than just telling the parents to keep things safe?
Of course, because I wouldn't be carrying it otherwise. So, yes.
All right. Well, thank you for showing up. We're going to be here all day. So
We
if you
have
want to ask individual questions, individual interviews.
I think Cheryl
We
has
have
some.
more
Or do you have
speakers.
More
something?
speakers, yes.
I got a dash to the house, so you guys, you got
Okay.
this.
Thank
Thank you.
ladies,
Thank you for
so
the
much.
resolution,
I so
Representative
appreciate you. Oh, good. Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thought you ladies had to dash. All right. Well, good morning. I am Cheryl Todd. I am the Arizona State Director for Women for Gun Rights. But more importantly, I am a wife, a mom, and a grandma. And today I am here with 3 generations of my family, and whose safety I am personally responsible for. And something we can all agree on is that we all want to protect what we love. Across Arizona, Women for Gun Rights is leading the conversation about safety, responsibility, and constitutional rights. And women legislators are driving forces in sponsoring true, common sense, and freedom-based legislation. We are here together today because we believe in something very simple. Education is the key to safety. That is why Women for Gun Rights is proud to support 3 important pieces of legislation moving through the Arizona legislature. HB 2076, the Save Our Children School Safety Program, sponsored by Representative Bliss, who was just here, focuses on practical preparedness to help schools better protect students and staff. My granddaughters, they deserve real and proven protection on their school campuses, and HB 2076 provides that. And we must insist that Governor Hobbs must sign this bill when it gets to her desk. SB 1012, sponsored by Senator Janae Shamp, restores fairness by removing unnecessary concealed weapons notifications requirements for law-abiding citizens who are exercising their rights responsibly. Predators strike in places where we are left unarmed by ridiculous and arbitrary laws. As a trained and prepared concealed carry license holder, this bill will remove these barriers to my personal safety. And SB 1424, sponsored by Senator Wendy Rogers, ensures that Arizona students receive firearm safety awareness instruction. Teaching young people how to recognize and respond safely around firearms is simply common sense when every Arizona child, not just mine, not just my family, that takes these matters seriously, when they are taught, stop, don't touch, run away, and tell a responsible adult if they encounter a gun on a playground or at a friend's home. When that happens, we are all safer. We must speak up and insist that Governor Hobbs must sign these life-saving bills into law. In closing, Women for Gun Rights, we believe informed citizens create safer communities. When we prioritize education, responsibility, and engagement, we strengthen both our freedoms and the safety of our families. Thank you to these leading women in our legislature, Senators Roger, Senator Shamp, and Representative Bliss, and to you and these ladies behind me for making education and safety a priority. Thank you so much, and we do have some further speakers.
Good morning. Thank you everyone for being here. My name is Seek Smith. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, and I'm a member of Women for Gun Rights. And I'm also the founder of Mom and Dad Army. My family fled Cambodia and the killing fields riddled with the millions of bodies of the people who had no means of defending themselves. We moved out of California as our freedoms were being stripped away by a government who overregulates. My husband and I specifically chose Arizona as a beacon of freedom to protect our lives and our children's lives. Here in Arizona, we believe in protecting our families with the most effective tools of self-defense, firearms, proper training, and education. The 3 women legislators standing with us today have sponsored legislation that reflects those very values. HB 2076, sponsored by Representative Selena Bliss, provides real and proven life-saving emergency preparedness training for our schools so that responsible adults on campus are better equipped to protect children when seconds matter. SB 1012, sponsored by Senator Janae Shamp, removes unnecessary restrictions that can turn law-abiding citizens into unarmed victims and makes it harder for criminals to find easy targets. And SB 1424, sponsored by Senator Wendy Rogers, empowers every child in Arizona's K-12 schools with a simple but life-saving lesson. If you see a firearm, stop, don't touch, leave the area, and tell a trusted adult. Knowledge saves lives, preparedness saves lives, and the ability to defend ourselves saves lives. As a mother, as an immigrant who has seen what happens when people are stripped of their ability to defend themselves, and as an American who cherishes the freedoms this country offers, I urge our leaders and our government and our Governor, Katie Hobbs, to stand with families and support these common-sense, life-saving bills. Because protecting our children and preserving our freedom must always go hand in hand. Thank you.
My name is Lauren Snyder. I'm on the leadership team for Women for Gun Rights Arizona, and I also work at the Attorneys for Freedom law firm, which specializes in self-defense cases. Additionally, I'm the wife of a veteran, a mother, and a person with disabling conditions. For me, being disarmed is dangerous because I don't have the privilege of being physically able to run away and call the police and wait for them to help me. On a good day, I may seem completely normal, and on a bad day, I can barely walk. I'm not equipped to fight physically. A few years ago, I went to an event in a sensitive place, also known as a gun-free zone. As a responsible gun owner with a concealed carry permit, I obeyed the law and I left my gun at home. That night, I was attacked by somebody who was stalking me. He had his car running, ready to go with the doors open, and was dragging me to the vehicle. Thankfully, I survived, but it made me realize how dangerous gun-free zones actually are. I testified on a similar bill in the Arizona Senate Committee in 2023, and I was told by a male senator that if I feel so scared that I have to carry a gun all the time, I should just stay home. You were there, Senator Rogers. Gun-free zones may sound nice in theory, but they're extremely dangerous. 94% of mass shootings actually happen in these gun-free zones. As a gun owner, I'm confident in my ability to protect myself, and I know I'm an asset in protecting my family because I'm always armed. I'm not scared, I'm prepared. The firearm is indeed the great equalizer, and that's why Women for Gun Rights is proud to stand with Senator Janae Shamp and SB 1012 that removes unnecessary notification requirements in public spaces for law-abiding citizens who are exercising their rights responsibly. The right to protect myself and my family shouldn't stop because of arbitrary gun-free zones, signage, and so-called sensitive places. It's my body, and it's my choice to protect it with a firearm. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kim Stevens, and I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have 5 kids and 6 grandkids, and I'm a firearms instructor. I once had a woman reach out to me after about a year after taking a class that she took from me, and she told me that what she learned didn't just give her confidence, it actually helped her survive an attack. I've also stood in front of teenagers, teaching them safety, talking about those school lockdowns, and it was actually the day after they had just had a lockdown drill. And their question for me was, what more can we do? And that question really stuck with me because drills are important, but real preparedness goes deeper. And I've spent over a decade teaching women and families that awareness, education, and preparation changes outcomes. And I've trained in programs like FASTER that emphasize the real-world school preparedness. Programs like HB 2076, the Save Our Children School Safety Program, gives schools practical tools to school staff to respond, not just react. Restoring Fairness for Responsible Citizens supports those already choosing to act responsibly. And Wendy Rogers' SB 1424 is designed to focus on teaching firearm safety to our kids and replace fear and curiosity with understanding and respect. Because safety isn't about panic, it's about preparation, and preparation saves lives because people are worth protecting, and preparation is how we do it. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Carol Munoz, and I believe with conviction that supporting the Second Amendment and the goals of Women for Gun Rights is essential for preserving both our freedoms and our safety. My life has been shaped by a deep respect for responsibility, education, and the power of self-reliance, values that are the very heart of our right to bear arms. As a native of Arizona and a retired Arizona Army National Guard soldier, my experiences both to my service, including a deployment to Afghanistan and at home, have taught me the value of preparedness and protection. I am proud to be a wife, a mother, and a grandmother. Not only have I served, but all my daughters have also worn the uniform with both deploying to Iraq. Our family's commitment to service is rooted in a belief that every citizen should have the ability and the right to protect themselves and those they love. Since 1994, I have held a valid concealed carry weapon permit, a responsibility that I do not handle lightly. Gun safety education has always been a cornerstone for me, both personally and professionally. As a chief range safety officer after military retirement, I have worked at Joe Foss Shooting Complex Range in Buckeye, Arizona. One memorable moment stands out for me. While instructing a handgun training to a woman that was dearly and deeply afraid of handguns, but after learning safety protocols and practicing her skills over a couple months, she left with confidence, empowered to protect herself and her children. My personal safety has always depended on my right to bear arms, whether traveling solo on my motorcycle or driving long distances. I have drawn reassurance from knowing that I am not defenseless. The Second Amendment ensures that my ability to protect myself is not dependent on physical strength alone, but on my preparedness and my right as a citizen. Without this protection, and countless others would be left vulnerable, forced to rely on luck, on physical engagement. Supporting the Second Amendment and Women for Gun Rights is not about fear or division. It is about responsibility, individual rights, and preserving our freedoms through lawful, informed, and ethical actions. True strength comes not from anger or fear, but from clarity, understanding why we stand where we do, and having the resolve to voice our beliefs with respect and conviction. Each of us plays a vital role in safeguarding these rights. Support is active. It means learning, engaging thoughtfully, and acting responsibly. By committing to ongoing education and participation, we elevate the conversation and fortify the cause we value. So together, we keep our rights strong and our communities safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Jim's up next. We've got 3 more speakers, and we have to bid adieu to our amazing legislators. Thank you so much for all you do. Go do the people's work.
Hi, I am Kim Bishop. I'm on the leadership team of Women for Gun Rights and sit on the board of directors with the AZCDL Foundation. I'm here to say thank you today. I want to thank Senator Wendy Rogers for sponsoring SB 1069, which removes muffling devices, commonly known as suppressors, from the prohibited weapons list, making this critical form of ear protection more accessible. These devices are proven to help protect firearm users and hunters from permanent hearing damage. My dad lived with debilitating hearing loss, and it affected our entire family across all generations. Even the strongest hearing aids were nearly useless. His hearing loss robbed him and us of so many missed I love yous, meaningful conversations, and the kind of guidance only a father can give. I don't want any other family to experience that loss. This simple, safe device helps preserve hearing and carries no dangerous or nefarious implications. Suppressors significantly reduce noise exposure, protecting users and even reducing noise pollution around shooting ranges. Using a suppressor is no different than wearing eye protection. Both are basic preventative tools that can spare someone a lifetime of injury. I appreciate the elected officials who recognize that these devices are essential for hearing protection. It is time to bring common sense back to these decisions and not allow fear-based narratives to dictate what is best for Arizona citizens.
Yes.
Good morning. My name is Sin Ladd, and I'm a proud member of Women for Gun Rights. I'm the Arizona State Director for Gun Owners of America. I'm a firearms instructor, and I'm a survivor of domestic violence. Years ago, I was victimized by a powerful man in our community in Minnesota who used his political clout and his influence to discredit me and strip me my ability to defend myself. Because of that experience, I understand firsthand how well-intended laws can empower evil people and unintentionally harm the very people they claim to protect, especially women like myself, who are already in the most vulnerable moments of their lives. That is why I want to thank Senator Janae Shamp for sponsoring SB 1012. This legislation removes arbitrary barriers that restrict trained, responsible citizens like myself from protecting ourselves in public places. Predators study patterns. They look for opportunities, and too often those opportunities exist in places where law-abiding citizens are disarmed by nothing more than a sign that says gun-free zone. Those signs, though, do not stop criminals, but they do leave women defenseless. SB 1012 recognizes an important right, a truth, that self-defense should not disappear the moment a responsible citizen, all of you, including me, walk through a doorway. Thank you very much.
My name is Michael Infanzin. I am a lobbyist down here at the Capitol with Epic Policy Group. I represent Arizona Citizens Defense League, Arizona State Rifle and Pistol Association, and the Arizona Firearms Industry Trade Association. It's kind of fitting that all the ladies went first because Arizona women lead the way in 2A. The three representatives that we had, or three legislators that we had up today, introduced the majority of pro-Second Amendment bills. Our Arizona legislators lead the way, and the women legislators lead even more. At 17 years old, I raised my hand to support and defend the Constitution by joining the United States Marine Corps. After 2 enlistments and a combat tour, I'm still fighting for our constitutional rights. It's amazing how we can agree on the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the Eighth Amendment, the 14th Amendment, but we can't agree on the Second Amendment. And with that, I'm done.
I just want to say in closing, thank you so much to everybody who made today a priority. You could be anywhere doing anything, and the fact that you were here with us today is everything. Thank you so much to the media who arrived today, who showed up to help tell our story. We appreciate you more than words can say. And with that, we conclude the Women for Gun Rights press conference.